The engagement party was alive with energy. The cozy event hall, adorned with twinkling fairy lights and elegant floral decorations, buzzed with laughter, clinking glasses, and the lively murmur of eager conversations. This was meant to be a joyful celebration, a moment to treasure marking the start of a new chapter with Emily, my fiancée. I moved among the guests, exchanging handshakes, accepting hugs, and nodding to endless congratulations. Everyone kept telling me how fortunate I was to have Emily, praising her beauty and the radiant glow she carried tonight. They weren't wrong. Emily had a natural charm that lit up any room and drew attention effortlessly. But beneath it all, something felt off. Maybe it was how she sometimes avoided meeting my eyes, or how her laughter sounded more forced than genuine. I chalked it up to pre-wedding nerves, the kind everyone said were normal before such a big day. Needing a break, I slipped away from a small group and stepped out onto the balcony for some fresh air. The cool night breeze was a welcome contrast to the warmth and bustle inside. I leaned against the railing, gazing at the city lights below, letting my thoughts drift. That's when I heard it. The balcony doors were cracked open just enough to let voices escape into the quiet evening. Inside, Emily stood with her best friend CLA, their conversation floating out clearly and unfiltered. I hadn't intended to eavesdrop, but what they said stopped me in my tracks. "You know, I never thought he'd actually propose," Emily said, her tone light, almost amused. CLA chuckled softly. "Really? Why is that?" "Daniel adores you," CLA replied. Emily sighed deeply. "He does, but to be honest, CLA, if things hadn't fallen apart with Aaron, I wouldn't be here. Daniel's a wonderful man, but he wasn't my first choice, you know that." A sharp catch in my throat nearly silenced me. CLA hesitated. "Emily, that's not fair. He loves you. You're happy, right?" Emily let out a small laugh. "Of course I'm happy. Daniel's steady, reliable, and he'd never walk away. But Aaron was thrilling, passionate. He was everything I wanted. When that ended, Daniel was the safe option, the backup plan. And honestly, I'm okay with that. I just need someone who won't break me again." It felt like the ground had vanished beneath me. Backup plan. I was just the fallback, the one she settled for when her ideal didn't work out. My chest tightened, a knot of anger and heartbreak tightening inside. The woman I thought I'd share my life with didn't see me as her equal, her partner. Only a safety net. I stood frozen for a moment, trying to digest her words. Part of me wanted to burst back inside and confront her right then and there, but I forced myself to stay composed. If this was the end, I would do it on my own terms. I stepped back into the party, the noise and music enveloping me again. My heart pounded as I made my way to the center of the room, passing tables decorated with candles and photos of Emily and me. "May I have everyone's attention, please?" I called out, my voice cutting through the chatter. The room fell silent. Dozens of eyes turned toward me, curious and expectant. Emily stood near the bar, confusion quickly giving way to alarm as she realized I was speaking to everyone. "Daniel, what are you doing?" she asked, her voice trembling. Taking a deep breath, I met her gaze. "Emily, I just overheard your conversation with CLA." Her eyes widened. "What are you talking about?" "You know exactly what I mean," I said calmly, though inside a storm raged. "You told her I was only your backup plan, that if things hadn't fallen apart with Aaron, you'd never have been with me." A collective gasp spread through the crowd. Emily's face went pale, and CLA looked as if she wanted to disappear. "Daniel, please, let's talk in private," Emily begged, stepping toward me. I shook my head. "No. I've spent months dreaming of a future with you, believing we were building something real. But I refuse to be anyone's second choice. I deserve to be loved for who I am, not because I'm safe." Reaching into my pocket, I pulled out the engagement ring. The room was so quiet you could hear the faint clink as I set it down on the nearest table. "I'm calling off the engagement," I declared firmly, "and I'm walking away." Without looking back, I turned and left, ignoring the shocked whispers and Emily's desperate pleas for me to stay. The cool night air hit me like a wave, but instead of feeling lost, a strange clarity settled over me. The next few days passed in a haze. Emily tried reaching out with endless voicemail messages, but I didn't respond. Friends and family bombarded me with questions, some supportive, others urging me to reconsider. But I stood my ground. A week later, I gathered the last of her things and dropped them off at her apartment. She attempted to apologize, to explain, but I couldn't bear to listen. Her words had already done enough damage. Over time, the pain dulled. I focused on myself, rediscovering hobbies I'd neglected and spending time with people who truly cared. Looking back, overhearing that conversation was a painful blessing. It hurt deeply, but it also revealed a truth I needed to face. I deserved more than being someone's safety net. I deserved genuine love, and someday I know I'll find it. For now, I'm just grateful I had the strength to walk away.